Hi, good afternoon. We're talking about artificial sweeteners and why you should avoid them because of what they do to your body. My name is Lee from Balancing Act Health Coaching, and welcome to today's Lunch and Learn. So we're talking about artificial sweeteners. They aren't generally considered toxic or dangerous, but science has proven time and again that they do have some drawbacks. For some people, they experience side effects when they consume certain types of artificial sweeteners, and especially when they consume them in large quantities. So we're going to be talking about 3 or 4 artificial sweeteners today, and what they are, how sweet they are, and what artificial sweeteners in general do to your body. But I'd like to invite you to come and join me in my Facebook group, Being Healthy Made Simple. It's a Facebook group that's private, and it is for women just like you who are looking to become healthy and lose their weight and feel more confident and look good in and out of their clothes. So do come and join me over at Being Healthy Made Simple. And if you are watching live, let me know where you're watching from. And if you're watching on the replay, then leave a hashtag replay and where you're watching from. Not specifically your lounge, but more like your city that you are watching from. So today, let's talk about these artificial sweeteners that you should be avoiding. The first one is sucralose. It is 600 times sweeter than sugar. So you don't need to use a whole lot of it to get that sweetness. The thing is with sucralose, it's used as a tabletop sweetener, but it's and it also has the same sort of flavor or taste that sugar does. But when you use it or overuse it, then it can cause digestive issues for you, like abdominal cramping, and it definitely affects your general gut health. So that's sucralose, but I just can't get over that it is 600 times sweeter than sugar. Now the next one is acesulfame potassium, and that is it also has a very powerful sweet flavor. The main drawback with this sweetener is that it has a strong aftertaste, and you can taste this in any of the flavored waters that you might be drinking. So what the manufacturers do is they actually add another sweetener to cover the taste of the acesulfame potassium taste. Then it is 200 times sweeter than sugar, and although it's been deemed safe by the FDA in the United States, it does have a bit of a controversial history with cancers and such like. So that is one to avoid. Then the third one is aspartame, and this is very popular, and it is a well-known artificial sweetener. There have been a number of studies that show sweeteners in an unfavorable light, but the FDA doesn't seem to be too worried about this, and so aspartame is still has a big chunk of the artificial sweetener market. Various researchers have actually looked thoroughly into the effects of aspartame, and there are documented cases of people experiencing seizures, having headaches, nausea, depression, and heart palpitations from using this particular ingredient. So this is certainly one that you want to avoid. And again, it's 200 times sweeter than normal regular sugar. Then the last one is saccharin, and this is a unique artificial sweetener in that it was actually pulled from the market by the FDA, but then new evidence came up that showed in studies that saccharin wasn't responsible for the cancer that had happened in the lab rats. Yeah, it continues to get negative reports, and doctors, they're drawing their own conclusions about whether saccharin is actually a safe artificial sweetener to use. What you must realize with artificial sweeteners is that they trigger your body in exactly the same way as sugar does. So for some people who are eating sugar or sweet things, they are going to have the same effect. Their body is going to do the exact same thing, in that it is going to release insulin into the bloodstream to move the sugar out of the bloodstream and into your cells. Also, studies have shown that people who use these artificial sweeteners, they regularly gain more weight than those who don't, and this is because their brains perceive that they are eating something healthy and that there's no kilojoules or calories attached to what they are eating, so they tend to then overeat on what it is they are eating, and that's not so good for you. So those are the 4 artificial sweeteners that you would want to avoid: sucralose, saccharin, aspartame, and acesulfame potassium. Now, artificial sweeteners and what they do to affect your body, they are in everything. And when you start reading labels, you're going to see that they are in your diet drinks, they're in your protein bars, they are added into your flavored waters, they are everywhere. They're even in sauces, and maybe those sauces aren't necessarily sweet sauces, but there they are there. So if you are consuming these, what you might find is that your sense of taste is dulled, and you might find that you need more interesting ingredients to spice up your meal, because your taste buds have become dulled by these artificial sweeteners. Then you might also find that you're accustomed to a more sweeter taste, and this is because the artificial sweeteners have dulled your taste buds. But the good news is that by reducing your artificial sweeteners, you can actually start consuming other normal regular fruits and vegetables and foods that are naturally sweetened, and you will start to notice that they actually are sweet. I don't know if you've ever had conversations with older people who say, oh, the strawberries aren't as sweet as they used to be, and that's actually their taste buds have been dulled. It's got nothing to do with the strawberry, it's that their taste buds are dulled and they can't taste that sweetness. Another negative effect of artificial sweeteners is that it can increase the intensity of your craving. So under normal circumstances, the pleasure centers in your brain, they eventually reach a point where they're sated and you stop eating or stop drinking. But when you're drinking or eating artificial sweeteners, then that satisfaction that is triggered in your brain is actually, it's delayed or it's arrested completely. So that means that you keep on eating so that you can get that feel-good high. And the end result is that you have these intense cravings that results in you overindulging in the food or the drink. And that is almost, it defeats the purpose of the artificial sweetener. And then you might find that you have gut problems going into the future, because they have a negative effect on your gut health. They are they can cause stomach cramps, they can cause nausea and other issues like bloating with your digestive system, and those are the last things that you're wanting when you are wanting to be healthy and you're wanting to lose weight. So if you've ever noticed that you get a stomach ache after drinking a Diet Coke, it could well be the sweeteners that have been used in that drink, as opposed to any of the other ingredients that are in there. So those are some side effects of eating artificial sweeteners. And again, those artificial sweeteners that you really do want to avoid are sucralose, aspartame, acesulfame, and saccharin. If you are using any of those, let me know in the comments and let's figure out a way how you can stop using them. Do come and join me over in my Facebook group, Being Healthy Made Simple. It's a tribe of women just like you who are looking to improve their health, lose some weight, and have sustained energy all day long. So thanks for stopping by for this Lunch and Learn today, and I will see you again on Tuesday. My name is Lee from Balancing Act Health Coaching, and today we spoke about artificial sweeteners, which ones to avoid and what they can do to your body. Have a great weekend.